Welcome to the land of castles and dragons, towering mountains, quiet villages, enchanting forests, and pristine coastline.
When you hear the word fairy tale, you might think of countries like Switzerland, France, Italy, or Germany. But this is Slovenia, one of the most overlooked destinations on the planet. Being here feels like you're living a real-life fairy tale.
On our mission to visit the 50 most beautiful and underrated countries on the planet, we had to see Slovenia for ourselves. So, we rented a car and spent an entire week exploring this forgotten country. We were so surprised by what we found.
Wait, what?
And we think it will surprise you too. So come join us in country number 42, Slovenia.
Welcome to Ljubljana, the capital of Slovenia. But our adventure did not start here in Slovenia. We actually just arrived last night after our Norway trip to kind of unwind and get some work done.
Yeah.
We were originally planning on coming here to Slovenia, but as soon as we saw the prices of Airbnbs, oh my goodness, it's some of the most expensive Airbnbs of over 40 countries we've been to.
Yeah, we were shocked. We were like, oh my gosh, like I thought this was supposed to be East Europe, a little bit cheaper, but it's even more expensive than parts of West Europe.
Yeah, I think it definitely might be the most expensive in East Europe, but I'm really curious to see some of the other prices like food prices and tours and some other things. But that alone, we're like, okay, instead of staying in Ljubljana and paying like $4,000 a month, let's get like a 2-bedroom in Zagreb, Croatia, less than 2 hours away, like an hour and a half away drive for like $1,500 a month or $1,600 or whatever, but much cheaper.
Yeah.
So that's what we decided to do. And as you know, we love Croatia, but we're so excited for Slovenia.
It was pretty easy driving here as well. Like, I mean, there was a little bit of traffic, but the border crossing was almost like laughable. I guess they don't need to see anything or stamp anything. They just told us to go. So we're going to be spending 10 days in the country exploring all of the best spots and taking some rest days as well. And we're going to be starting here in the capital of Ljubljana. And I'm so excited to see everything, the architecture, the food, the people.
But as always, we're going to keep things 100% honest and answer the question, is Slovenia worth it? So let's go.
They're having like a food market.
So when it comes to filming, every country is different. It's so funny, like some people like hate it or whatever, but here people have been super polite. I think it's tourists though, maybe some locals, of like waiting for us to take shots, which we're not trying to obviously take up space, but people generally have been very nice about filming, except for the vendors. Again, it's so funny, every country's different. Some places are like, come, film, because it's like free marketing. Other people are like, don't film, because they feel like we're taking something from them without paying. And of course we want to respect that, but yeah, kind of interesting, right? It's different when you are filming. What? Cannabis? I thought that was illegal. I don't know.
Oh my gosh, look at this. This is the most beautiful pastry I've ever seen. We have to try it. So, I think I'll have the heart one. Okay. Yes. So they did not have that beautiful pink ball that I saw in the window, but look at this. Oh my gosh, it is so beautiful. I don't know what's inside, but I have to say, this kind of summarizes a little bit how I'm feeling about Ljubljana. It's so elegant, beautiful, honestly, controversial, but this might be the most beautiful city in Europe. Like delicate, quiet, like the vibe is just loving it so far. And now let's see how this tastes. Okay, not so elegant, but I had to do it. Oh my gosh. This is so good. Immediately I'm like, it's cold and it has like this mousse texture with some cake.
What's the inside look like?
So it's like chocolate with berries. Ah, so good and so beautiful. Oh no.
It all of a sudden started pouring rain. And I even checked the weather app this morning and it said like at 4 p.m. there's like a 40% chance of rain. I'm like, oh, that's not bad. Then we checked again and it's like 60% for like the rest of the day. I'm like, oh man. It's still really beautiful, but obviously it's tougher when you have equipment, but at least we were able to see a lot of this beautiful city, you know, without the rain. But we still have one more super iconic point that we want to see. So let's go.
Now the best day to forget the umbrella.
Oh my gosh. All right, so everywhere throughout Ljubljana, we've been seeing dragons. Like,
Yeah,
this, of course, the dragon like statue on the bridge and just toys and everything. So, Anna, if you could answer, why are there so many dragons here in Ljubljana?
This is because of Sveti Juri. He's like the protector of this city. Other cities in Slovenia have him as his protector as well. And the story goes that he protected the city because the dragon was attacking it. So upstairs there's also a chapel. Supposedly where he slayed the dragon, that's where the chapel is today.
So he's basically this hero, like the
Exactly.
legend, and
Exactly.
it was actually, they think he slayed up here.
Yes, that's what the legend says.
So actually this is like the heart of the dragon.
That's true, that's true.
Wow, it's, by the way, so beautiful. And we have to say too, we've been going through the city now, of course before it was raining. It's, wow, very impressive, extremely
That's lovely
beautiful.
to hear, lovely
Yeah,
to
so it's a really wonderful set. Well, thank you very much, Anna.
No,
Yeah, we
thank
appreciate that.
you.
It's very insightful.
Thank you.
And as you can see, we have made it to the top of Ljubljana Castle here with a beautiful view of the city below. Supposedly, right where, I forget his name, but the hero of Slovenia slayed the dragon. Thankfully, the weather is cleared up.
Yeah.
And what's really cool is, like every day at a specific hour, they actually have these like live reenactments of basically, I guess, like tour guides dressed up in different outfits from different time periods here in Slovenia to teach more about the history and the progress, which we're really excited about because we were able to get in. So that should be starting soon. So let's go check it out.
Unfortunately, we were not allowed to film the tour with audio, but we definitely recommend it. It was such a fun and creative way to learn the history of the castle. Tickets were 20 euros per person, which includes the round-trip funicular ride and access to all of the exhibitions hosted in the castle. You also get to explore on your own afterwards as long as you want, and our favorite spot was the chapel, especially the amazing ceiling paintings. 10 out of 10 experience.
Check this place out. Look at that authentic Slovenian restaurant to try some authentic Slovenian food.
Yeah,
let's go. Look, the food's coming. Wow. My goodness. Wow.
Gosh, this is huge!
We're gonna need a bigger box. The food looked way smaller in the menu than it does here, but it looks super, super good, and the staff has been awesome. Everyone so far in Ljubljana and Slovenia has been very, very nice, which is great. So I'm gonna start off trying the blood sausage. It's huge, it's the biggest blood sausage I've ever seen. That's what we're gonna get. That's enough. There we go, enough to taste. Good.
Is it bloody?
No, it doesn't taste like blood at all. It's, if you've had blood sausage before, very similar to what it kind of tastes like. If you've gone like an Irish pub before, it's very common there as well. Really good, like peppery, spiced really well. Really nice, actually. Reminds me of what we had in Ushuaia in Argentina, also the blood sausage. And I'm gonna try it with some of this, I think it's supposed to go together with the turnip slaw. So we're just gonna kind of mix a little bit. Oh, it tastes like identical to sauerkraut, just softer. Really good.
Yay, thumbs up.
Thumbs up so far.
All right, time to try the venison goulash. I have to say it smells so good, so I can already taste it. I'm gonna make sure to get some of the bread. Okay, here we go. Oh my gosh. It is so well seasoned. Oh my gosh, hold on. I need one more. This, every day in the winter, is so good. The bread's also really good. I don't know if it's homemade, but it's soft. Maybe a little bit sour too.
All right, now time for the cheese roll. It looks like a really soft cheese surrounded by like this dough. Not much of a smell. It's good. What is it like? It's like a ricotta cheese. Light, not so heavy. But
Is it salty?
No. A bit bland, good, but it seems like it maybe need to be eaten with some meat or some sauce, but yeah, oof, it's good.
Next one, I'm gonna try the stag with this stuff on top. I think these might be berries. Here we go. I don't know what this top thing is. It is a little bit sour, so it could be a berry, but it's really good. It complements the meat really well. And I thought the meat was gonna be like, what is it called? Like when it has a lot of fat or like hard to chew, but it's not. Pretty soft.
Comment what you think the total for this meal would cost. And the big reveal is about 67 euros, which honestly is not bad. We're in a super touristy area. We have a full other meal, and we already ate we were so hungry, we ate so much. Honestly impressed, not nearly as expensive as I expected, given like hotel and Airbnb prices being pretty high, so not bad. Really good service, really good food. Definitely recommend this place.
Good morning. It is day number 2, and we are on our way to the most iconic place in all of Slovenia. And the first time I've ever heard of this place was actually, it appeared at a wallpaper on my TV when I went into sleep mode, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that is beautiful. Where is this? And now we're going there, and it's only a 30 to 40 minute drive from Ljubljana. And the day actually started super foggy to where we were even wondering if it was worth going. But as you can see, the sun has come out, and the views on the way, the road trip is absolutely beautiful. Again, we can't go 5 minutes without seeing beautiful towns and hills and churches. So very excited and super excited to reach our destination as well. So let's go.
You arrived at your destination.
gosh, this place is absolutely stunning. We are in Lake Bled, and I gotta say, it's even better than I expected. The views are absolutely breathtaking. I feel like, I don't know, I think the best word to describe is like magical, with the little church in the island in the middle of the lake, and then the castle up high is just super unique.
Yeah, and I would say like so close to Ljubljana, of course it's like a no-brainer.
Yes.
There's a walking trail that goes around the entire lake, which actually isn't as big as I expected. And the water's super clean. People are swimming in it, and there's the ducks and some fish. So it's really beautiful and magical. And yeah, you can literally like just walk around the entire island, or the entire lake.
Yeah.
Bike around.
There's parking was about 20 euros for about 4 hours. There's not a lot of parking, but
because it is a very popular place. We saw like some tour buses just pouring in, but it's still nice. And like I said, voices are down because it is very peaceful, just like Ljubljana was. So, we don't want to disturb the vibe here and be typical, loud American. But this is beautiful. We want to get a closer look at the church, so let's go.
And to complete our adventure here at the lake, we had to rent these super classy rowboats, and you can rent them everywhere around the lake. Actually, not everywhere. There's quite a few that you can rent, but little tip, try to rent one closer to the island with the church if that's actually where you want to disembark or hang out or get close to it, because these are not as easy as it seems to row.
Yeah, I know. I'm like fighting with like, not a strong, waves or currents or anything, but just the wind like takes you and like spins you around. I'm like, okay, trying to get to the island without, but it's fun though. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The water's super clean. It's like I think it's actually the cleanest lake water I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Super clean. There's like little fish that you see everywhere, and it's just like a lot of fun.
It feels
really
super refreshing. The day is not that hot, but it's perfect for swimming. You can easily spend an entire day here. Honestly, you could rent one of these boats. There's e-bikes. Obviously, there's the trail to just walk around. Paddle boards, go swimming, go fishing. There's just so much to do. Lots of restaurants around here as well. So, my gosh, I would say this is so worth it. You definitely need to add Lake Bled to your bucket list when you come to Slovenia. But there's even more to see in this amazing country that so far has really surpassed our expectations. So, let's go.
And welcome to Soča Valley here at the northwest part of Slovenia, which actually isn't that far away because Slovenia is such a small country. It's like, 2 hours outside of Ljubljana? And what's crazy is the drive coming in here is stunning.
Yeah.
Literally driving through the mountains. It reminded me a lot of like Yosemite in California, very similar.
Yeah, parts of it also made me feel like I was in Switzerland.
Yeah.
So beautiful, so like, I don't know, clean, the air. Wow, I'm like, did not expect that.
Oh yeah, so obviously we're here to explore the nature of Slovenia and kind of more this rustic side, but also, because it's a valley, we're surrounded by water and it is hot, and we want to find the best place to take a dip. So we're on the hunt. Let's go find a spot. All right, so we're off the beaten path a little bit, going just to where we heard some like waterfall. And this area looks really promising because it's not so torrential and like everywhere else like high cliffs. It looks like we could be able to go in here. We just gotta figure out how to get down. my gosh, check this out. So we found a shallow spot, but it's not deep enough to swim. Whew. And, oh gosh, freezing cold. I just froze my feet off in here. But the water is crystal clean. I've never seen river water this clean ever. Beautiful color. And as you can see, just an absolutely beautiful and chill spot. You could spend days here in just the surrounding area with the mountains and the river. Really impressed. Really bummed though we didn't get to swim. So now we have a new goal. We are not leaving Slovenia until we swim. All right, we are back in the car, heading out to the coastal city of Piran in the west. And of course, on the way, passing through a lot of beautiful Slovenian countryside. I'm really excited because we're hoping to kind of pass through, well, we will be passing through one of the many wine regions here in Slovenia. Because even though Ali and I aren't big drinkers, so we're not gonna make all content about wine, Slovenia is a big wine culture from everything we've researched and even seen so far. So just give you a little taste of some of the wine country before we head into Piran, as well as just share what we see along the way. So far, as you've seen from the past couple of days, it's been really beautiful, and we're super excited for this last leg of our adventure. So let's go. We have arrived at our first stop, a city that we can't pronounce. And as we've been driving through, there have been a lot of these beautiful little quaint villages throughout, each one kind of unique. I think this one, so far, literally on the side of the road,
is the prettiest.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you see as you start driving, because we just made it into the wine, I think it's called Vipava Valley.
Well, yeah, there's vineyards like everywhere, like not everywhere, but like so many places have, like little houses have their own vineyards.
Yeah.
Kind of like in Montenegro and parts of Croatia. Very similar. And it literally just started raining.
Yeah, oh no. Anyways, the views have been amazing. Like you practically don't even feel the road trip because it's so beautiful. And then every once in a while you spot one of these beautiful medieval towns.
Yeah,
so,
and this one is literally like, you can't really see it too much on the vlog, but like 360 surrounded by wineland, like everywhere. It's just so cool and beautiful. But I actually want to see if we can get up close and see some of the grapes. So let's go check out this vineyard.
oh my gosh, these look so good, but don't they look like blueberries? I've never seen grapes like these, the color and like how round it is, but you have red on one side and then white on the other, just off the road. It's amazing.
Have we said that this country feels like a fairy tale yet? If not, let us have the opportunity to do that. We're here in front of Predjama Castle, and as you can see, absolutely beautiful, like straight out of a fairy tale. And here's the thing that's really cool about this castle. It looks beautiful from the outside, but beneath and behind the castle is an entire cave system that this was built into, which is really cool.
Oh yeah.
And something else that might stain the fairy tale a little bit that we learned on our very theatrical tour at the Ljubljana castle is the knight of this castle murdered somebody. And then because of that was imprisoned in Ljubljana.
Yeah.
He was able to escape through the sewer system and rode all the way back across the country here. So he was here, the army comes after him, he was really well fortified, they waited for like months and months and months. So finally, they found one of his servant boys, paid him money and say, hey, tell us where he is and at what time. He's like, oh, like almost every night, he goes up to the tower to take a dump. Like literally, this is history. When the knight's up there taking a dump, I'm gonna light a signal. You guys point your cannons at him and fire, and then pay me the money, right? So that's exactly what they did. So this guy escaped prison through a sewer system, and he died above a sewer system in this castle. But how cool is that? It's actually really, really cool though, isn't it? Kind of weird, but really neat.
Yeah, but this entire place is super nice. Like you can definitely spend a few hours here if you have the time. You can go visit the caves, obviously the castle as well. There's restaurants, greenery. Really, really impressed with this place.
Yeah, obviously just been blown away so far by Slovenia and extremely excited for our last destination. So let's go.
Welcome to Piran.
All right, we have some good news and bad news. The good news is we have arrived here finally in Piran, the last destination of our Slovenia trip, with wonderful weather, which should hold up today because it's been kind of iffy every day of like rainy, sunny.
Right.
And the bad news is, well, one is our trip is now sort of coming to an end.
I know.
And Allie's feeling a little bit sick. It's probably like the worst part.
Yeah.
So you probably hear that kind of throughout. But we're not gonna let cold stop us from enjoying, especially for how far we've come.
Yeah.
Because again, we still have our last goal of swimming before we leave this country. So we're gonna explore the city here of Piran, which is located on the southwest.
Yeah.
I always mix it up. The very like southwest, like very close to Croatia, literally like on the other side of Venice, Italy. It's almost like directly across.
Yeah.
And it's because of Venice, Italy and the Venetians that the city looks the way that it does.
Yeah.
You know,
the
colorful
Venetian architecture. Oh yeah.
If you've seen photos or if you've been to Dubrovnik in Croatia or to Split or even like Budva in Montenegro, these are all kind of old Venetian cities, which obviously have had, you know, kind of changes over time other than just the Venetians, but really beautiful so far.
Yeah.
Immediately reminds us of Croatia, like the Dalmatian coast. For sure, those vibes. I love it. And then the seawater and everything. So we're super excited to explore. So we're gonna kind of like check out the city and also some unique Slovenian food on the coastal side. So let's go.
This video is sponsored by Claritin Combo.
Okay, not to be creeping, but look at the ceiling inside this house. Look at that detail. Oh my gosh. I'm pretty sure this house, that was his house right there. The man, Tartini himself, where this square is named after. Something we love about Piran so far is when you take these side streets, how quiet, peaceful, and beautiful it is.
Yeah.
We were just talking like so far compared to Dubrovnik. I think for me, I actually like Piran more personally, which is pretty tough because Dubrovnik, Croatia has been one of my favorite places on earth.
Yeah.
This is so beautiful. So
it is
nice.
a lot smaller, so you do feel more, it feels less touristy for sure than Dubrovnik. Like something that's like quiet, the vibe is just so chill. I'm loving it.
I like the vibe a lot. People are very nice, even though it's a very touristy place. And it's not nearly as touristy as other parts of Greece, Italy, Croatia. So
Yeah, so far, living in Slovenia, my favorite. Kitty.
Actually, that's mine. This is yours.
My goodness.
There you go. And I gotta go back to get, I think, some silverware and maybe some bread, so I'll be back. Okay. And some bread. Okay. No more trips. Now we have the tartar sauce.
Yay!
She said it's the best tartar sauce, so, in the whole world. Oh my gosh, let's eat. All right, so we are here at Fritolin Cantina restaurant. It's one of the highest rated restaurants on the entire peninsula. So we had to try it, and specifically trying it for some of the Slovenian seafood. As you can see, it's arrived, looks beautiful. I have some squid, Ali has some fish, comes with bread and tartar sauce, and a couple drinks. So it looks really great. And obviously this is very different from the food that we had in Ljubljana, which is much more land-based. Venison, boar, steak, different kinds of meat. And this immediately takes us back to Croatia. It is so similar. Even, Ali, I think if you remember this,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? The mix salad, I don't even know what it is, but everything reminds us of like the Dalmatian coast or Istria on the Croatian side. So we're gonna dig in, and first, I'm gonna try this. This is Slovenian Coca-Cola, basically called kokta. We've been seeing this everywhere, so I decided why not try it today. So we're gonna sample this to see if it's as good as the original Coca-Cola.
Cheers.
Cheers. Okay, it smells not like Coke. Ooh. That's nothing like Coke.
What it tastes like?
Good and refreshing. It tastes familiar, hold on. I'm too thirsty, it's going straight to my thing. A little bit like root beer. Like root beer, Dr. Pepper, like a light Dr. Pepper root beer. Not bad. Now let's just try the food. All right, starting here with the squid. Grilled, not fried. I love squid. Oh gosh. Squid done correctly is incredible. Squid not done correctly is terrible. This is done well. Garlicky, oily, like very tender. Very good. 8 out of 10. That's my rating. One bite.
Okay, now I'm trying this sea bass, and I already put some of this garlicky oil on it. Oh my gosh. I have a big feeling this is gonna be good. Go. That is so good. Especially with this. Now I'm gonna taste some of this potato. I think it's with spinach. Let's check it out. It's really good. I thought it was gonna be kind of like tasteless. It's spinach for sure. So it's potatoes with spinach, and they put some sauce that tastes delicious. I would say rating 8.5 out of 10. Have made it to the top of Piran, and I gotta say the steps are worth it because the views here are so beautiful. You get, the panoramic view of Piran, also beautiful views of the Adriatic Sea, and you can even see Italy from here.
Yeah, which is crazy. And we're right outside of St. George Church, so this is beautiful, but let's see what it looks like inside.
Seriously, I did not think it was going to be this opulent from the outside. It's beautiful. I loved how they used the dome for like the sky behind the cross.
Free. As you can see, we have made it to the beach,
Yeah.
which here in Piran is basically like
A pier
Yeah.
where you jump off of this ledge.
concrete to jump off, but the water looks super clean.
Yes.
And as you know, we are here, so we can finally say that we have swam in Slovenia. So let's jump in.
But it feels amazing.
Oh, it feels so nice. All right, final thoughts about Slovenia, and just a little tidbit. This is not Piran, this is not Slovenia, but we're about an hour away outside of Piran in Croatia, because it's very close to the border, in the beautiful hilltop city of Motovun.
Yes.
So just a little side note, if you're going to Slovenia, consider adding Motovun, we'll have the spelling here on the screen, to your itinerary, because like it's not that
It's
far
so
in
close.
Croatia.
And the border was like, nobody was there.
No one was there. Like we didn't have to show our passports or anything, which is pretty typical because it's a very similar cultural similarity in this Istrian peninsula of Slovenia and Croatia. We actually crashed our drone over there 3 years ago till today, which is a whole story. We like try to get it down with like bow and arrow. We bought a cheap drone to try to like capture it and get it down. And
The entire town knew us as like the
drone
drone
people
because
3
we had
years
to
ago.
come back multiple times to try to grab it.
So a little side tangent, a little bonus for you here about Motovun. But back on track with Slovenia,
Yeah.
beautiful country.
Oh my gosh.
Great trip. Honestly, wish I had more time because there was so much more in Slovenia that we weren't even able to do.
Yes.
Which is always the case of any country, right? You're never able to do everything. But the diversity, from the mountains to seaside, the difference, like the classy elegance of Ljubljana, and then kind of the more chill, Italian-influenced Adriatic coastal city of Piran, which, by the way, was, I kind of alluded to it, by far that was my
Our
favorite.
favorites,
It was just because
yes.
that's our vibe. Everyone's vibe is different.
Yeah.
But for us, that is our favorite. But the whole country was great. Food was actually cheap.
Cheap and delicious.
And really
I
good.
liked both the food, like the meats that we had in Ljubljana, as well as the fish in
Yeah.
Piran. Oh my gosh, both extremely delicious. I would say the entire country is so like underrated or like out of people's radar
For sure.
for vacation. I will say there were like the median age was about like 45 to 50. There were not
Yeah.
a lot of young people throughout the country.
Yeah,
But we
it's
hope
true.
that this video helps change that because
Well,
it was
regardless
an-
of your age, I think you're gonna have a great
Oh,
time.
yeah. I'm just
This
being
isn't for
like-
if you're 60 or 50 watching this, which we have so many, of our
Yes.
subscribers.
What I mean is it's a great country for all ages, and I was
For sure.
so impressed by all the different landscapes. Like Sumner said, the entire country was so clean because I would say even like parts of Italy or even Croatia surrounding Slovenia, there are a lot of parts that are a bit run down.
Like more graffiti,
Yeah.
a bit more like not to. Italy's beautiful. Croatia's amazing. We love
Yes.
Croatia, of course, but yeah, it was a bit elevated. Of
Yeah.
course, as we said, the lodging is a bit more expensive.
but everything else was very reasonable. Or, like I said,
Yeah.
even the food was like cheap for what you get, the quality and the location and everything, which that was surprising. The people were really nice too.
Oh yeah,
I found in
everyone was
general,
nice.
then compared to like Zagreb, Croatia, or even Italy, who are great people, we love you. But we found Slovenians to be very nice as well. So like people, great, food, amazing.
And landscapes,
Landscapes.
magical.
Yeah, that's like the one word to encapsulate everything together. I would say this is the most magical country. And that's what's very interesting is like when you're thinking about a Europe trip, right? Like magical, you might think Switzerland, which is beautiful. France, for example, Italy, great countries, amazing. But all in all, you could have a very unique and in some ways like a similar experience with the mountains, with the vineyards, with the coastline and everything. Probably even cheaper than these
and,
other
like,
countries. And it's more unique to tell your
Easier access too, because the country is much smaller.
Yes.
So you can get all of these different landscapes within just a couple of hour drives away from each other. So
Yeah, in Piran,
10 out of 10.
I actually asked our receptionist in Piran, and she's like, "Oh man, I hate. It's so long for me to drive through the country." I'm like, "Wait, what?"
No.
It's like, "Yeah, it takes me 3 hours." I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like I remember in if you're American watching this, like you know, road trips in the U.S. Every year when I was growing up, my parents are from Michigan, so we go from Cincinnati, Ohio to Michigan, which is about 8 hours, and we make that trip 8 hours up, 8 hours down every year. So 3 hours to get across an entire country.
That's
Amazing.
nothing.
It was not bad at all, and the road trip was so nice. Roads were great. Just a very good experience.
Yes, add it to your bucket list.
Definitely
It is
add to your
worth
bucket
it.
list. And we loved having you along this adventure and really hope you enjoyed it as well. Be sure to join us on more adventures here in Croatia and actually our next destination, Japan, which we're so excited for. We'd love to have you along. And you can check out all of our videos here on the channel. Be sure to subscribe for more unique destinations all around the world. And as always, thanks so much for watching and joining us. Loved having you and wish you the very best on your next adventure.
Bye.